What's happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from Hear the Spear, presented to you by NoleGameday.com. We're here live. To be honest with you, not wonderful, not fantastic. We've been saying this for quite a long while throughout this 2025 season, but an absolute atrocious game by Florida State in this one at NC State. This one didn't even come down to really, to be honest with you, the fourth quarter, because we're about to talk about it, because outside of a lot of major mistakes there in that fourth quarter. But once again, Florida State falls in not even dramatic fashion. They just lose. To NC State in Raleigh. 21-11 offense, nowhere to be seen. Once again, on a road game, this team doesn't know how to play offense whenever they're on a road game, away game. They have no clue how to play offensively. And they put up 11 points, missed field goals, muff punts left and right. We're going to dive deep into this one, but Florida State is now going to vie for hopefully one more win before they can become bowl eligible. I don't think any FSU fan gives a damn about that one bit whatsoever. But of course, you want to beat the Gators next weekend. But still, nonetheless, though, I mean, you're just fed up with it. If you're an FSU fan, you're absolutely fed up with watching Florida State. You're sick and tired of it. You were sick and tired of it last year. You're sick and tired of it once again. It's sickening to be a Florida State fan right now as we speak in 2025. But with me is Austin Veazey, our lead basketball writer at NoleGameday.com. Seminoles got a win there on the basketball court tonight. And then Dustin Lewis, our editor-in-chief. Gentlemen, this was another game where Florida State on the road can't play offense worth an effing damn.
Same shit, different day for Florida State. And what sucks is they had a chance to pull this game out late in the fourth quarter, scored that touchdown, got the 2-point conversion. It's 14-11. Your defense goes out on the field, gets the stop that you needed, punt, the worst punt I've ever seen, smacks KJ Kirkland in the head, somehow goes 20 yards backwards and is recovered by NC State's punter. I've never seen anything like that in a real game, maybe Madden or something like that, but that was insane. It's like, okay, defense back on the field. They get another stop, another punt, this time muffed by Squirrel White. The defense gets another stop, but then NC State decides to go for it on fourth down instead of kicking that field goal and essentially ices the game. So it's just like a comedy of errors for Florida State in this game. And the defense arguably played well enough for FSU to win, gave up that 10-play, 9-minute drive in the third quarter. But outside of that, I mean, did their part in keeping NC State off the scoreboard. But like you said, Logan, the offense fails. And then the special teams, I mean, absolutely blew up in your face in this game. You missed the field goal early on. You try to go for the field goal late in the game for clock management purposes to go for the onside kick and maybe give yourself a chance. It's a flat-out bust from Jake Weinberg. So another really embarrassing loss for Florida State, and now they're on the cusp of not making the postseason. It's not going to be any easier next weekend in Gainesville.
Remember when you said postseason run like a week ago?
What you did, four more quarters.
What you didn't even mention about that sequence was Edwin Joseph dropping the easiest interception he'll ever have in his life, where he played.
Don't even get me started.
He played the flap perfectly, drop back, fooled CJ Bailey as perfectly as you could fool him. The ball just goes straight through his hands. And then those punts were. I tweeted before halftime that I've never seen a team find a way to shoot themselves in the foot in new ways more than this team. And they do that in the same sequence in the fourth quarter. I've never seen two muffed punts in the same sequence. It's crazy. I was going to come into this podcast just doing a bit and just talk about basketball the whole time, but it's actually funny how bad this team is on the road. I cannot believe it. It's so it honestly is funny that they're this bad, that these kind of things keep happening. You outgain NC State by 100. This is the worst defense in the ACC. You score 11 points. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's something to.
Hey, Gus Malzahn's getting interviewed for the Arkansas job. Everything's going to be fine. He won't be here anymore, right?
Yeah, but that's something we have to talk about. Like, it's not like this NC State defense were world beaters coming into this game. Miami held Florida State to 3 points for 3 quarters, but that's one of the top defenses in college football. Whereas NC State, bottom 100 in the majority of metrics, as we discussed, giving up over 30 points a game, coming into this one. They had actually 4 straight games given up 36 or more points before they played Florida State's offense tonight. So I'm sure that's going to make their defensive metrics go up a little bit. But the worst passing defense statistically in the country, and Florida State, I mean, lays a flat-out dud, 11 points, second fewest points Florida State scored this season.
And the passing was just 16 of 32 for 200 yards for Tommy, which we talked about on Wednesday. If you make Tommy throw, this team just isn't going to win football games because this is not a passing attack.
Mm-hmm. Was it just me or whenever that first punt, the first muff, I was thinking, oh my goodness.
Can we even classify that as a muff?
Just field the punt, go there and field it. Sure enough, as I don't know if it was just me. I don't know. I was here with a lot of FSU fans as well, but I was being very vocal. Make sure you field that punt and make sure you field it well. And sure enough, it bounces off the head of Kate.
I don't even know if we can call it a muff. It was such a bad punt. Mm-hmm. Squirrel is pointing, get out of the way, get out of the way. KJ is turning around.
I'm not blaming on Squirrel there. Yeah, no, I'm not blaming on KJ, but I'm talking about the luck of an FSU fan. You're just the luck of an FSU fan. You just knew something. It's Raleigh, as we talked about in our preview. This is Raleigh. Outrageous things that will go against FSU is going to happen. And sure enough, that happens there. But then you get one more opportunity, gentlemen. You get one more opportunity. You got a lot of time left. You can maybe make a drive down the field. Squirrel White. One of your top targets you brought through the transfer portal.
They should just let that ball go.
Oh, boy.
Like, after the first month, they should have just sent everybody away.
Just let the ball roll. Let the ball roll at that point because you just knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Yeah. I mean, Squirrel White, he's by himself, and you could just feel it coming there in the Raleigh air. And sure enough, he does not field the punt, muffs it, and it goes to NC State right away. But I mean, that was just how the theme of this game was. Florida State can't play well in Raleigh, but first off, they can't play well in 2024 on the road, and they can't play well on the road in 2025. It's so bad, it's embarrassing, it's atrocious, and it starts at the head man with Mike Norvell. I mean, you know, the big conversation. I don't think any of the fans are going to care much more of. Now we got to figure out who the next head coach is going to be. Who do you move on from Mike Norvell? Because supposedly this administration is waiting on these last 2 games. What do you do now? What does that tell you now, administration? Michael Alford, Florida State's athletic director. What does that tell you now? All of the top people at the very top. What does that tell you after this on the road? This team cannot win on the road whatsoever. It doesn't even matter moving forward. You're about to start the season in 2026 at Tuscaloosa. You're going to get routed by 40.
Well, it's not the first game, but
okay.
Okay, well,
it's the first meaningful one.
At least you're at home against TCC. You play TCC first game of the season. The Golden State Eagles. TSC, my bad. TSC. They changed their name. My bad.
Get it right.
That's my bad. Yeah, that is my bad. But I mean, it was atrocious offense. I mean, I thought Tommy was throwing some great balls to begin the game, and then once again, once he gthen flustered a little bit in the pocket, he doesn't get his feet settled. He just kind of throws a ball 10 yards away from a wide receiver. Saw that one coming. And then outside of, Deuce had some drops in this game. Again, I have a conversation about Deuce Robinson. Not a lot of people will like that, but inconsistent with some of the catches. But you have to rely on him because he is your only reliable wide receiver. But there's some inconsistencies there with him. I don't know where Usman Kromal went as well in this game. Didn't get to see him till the end of the game and just BS moments. This team is completely broken. It's been broken since last year. I don't know what more we need to really say.
Can we go back to the Kromal part? Why is Roydell Williams getting 7 carries in this game? What are we doing?
That was your top back. Wasn't not with Gavin, but yeah.
Like, we've talked about how just all over the place this running back room is. Roydell Williams got 7 carries in this game. He was your second leading rusher running back wise. What are we doing?
That was the first time that he got a rushing attempt since the Miami game. And I know he's been dealing with the injuries.
It was the Bama game.
Man, he had one for I think 0 yards against Miami. So I mean, really, it was his first significant action since the Alabama game. And I know the injuries have been there, but it just doesn't make sense to me to take those opportunities away from Sawchuk and Chroma with what they've shown you this season.
Chroma's good. He was really good last week. And just you give him 4 carries in this game? I don't understand it.
Just no chance for any of those rushers to really get into a rhythm. And I mean, like you said, Logan, I think, the first 3 or 4 passes from Tommy, it looked like he was going to come out and, I hate to say it, respond against North Carolina State after a passing performance to forget last week in that victory against Virginia Tech. And then he got flustered. He threw that interception. And then after that, it just kind of fell off a cliff. I mean, his mechanics weren't right. He was really forcing some of those passes up there, really off target on a lot of throws. On that touchdown drive, though, he goes 5 for 5 for 62 yards. I mean, the majority of that of his production comes on that lone touchdown scoring possession for FSU on the night. Outside of that, I mean, he was just really up and down in this one. Deuce Robinson doesn't catch a pass until the fourth quarter. Loane McCoy ends up as your second leading receiver with 45 yards. All of those came on Florida State's first 2 drives before he left with an injury. Another rough outing for this offense.
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. It's embarrassingly bad. It's rough to watch. It is something that, you wonder, the running back rotation and such. You can do that all day long. And then Tommy Castellanos is hit or miss with some plays, and you take the shots when you can get them. But, you have drops too from your star wide receivers. I don't know. It's just bad play. It's just bad play all over the case. I mean, you saw Jerry Wilson. I don't know what else more to say. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm being careful, but
Why? What is there to be careful about?
No. I know it's not. I mean, what a bad pickup there in the transfer portal. And you didn't expect that to be the case with him, but of course he comes in, and it's a rough watching that cornerback play football. It's really rough, and he had a better performance against a god-awful Virginia Tech team last week, and then he comes in and plays this game and bites on a route, and he gets absolutely eaten alive and gives up a touchdown. And I don't know. And a lot of missed tackles per usual on the defensive side as well, as we saw throughout the entirety of the season. And then sure enough, it's going to happen again on the road because this is how this team plays. But yeah, it's a rough outing from all across the board. And, Jake Weinberg, miss Fitzgerald, don't you? Fitzgerald's over here went and getting game winners left and right in the NFL as we speak, but he's not here to save you anymore. And Weinberg has not been consistent for you whatsoever as a kicker as well. It's everywhere. It's every level on the team. And at the end of the day, what it comes down to is your head coach, gentlemen. I mean, we've talked about it. Everybody's talked about it. We've talked about it. Every beat member has talked about it. Everybody on social media, anybody still vying with Mike Norvell, all God to you, praise to you. I don't know what you're hoping on, but this is all she wrote. But I don't know if it is going to be all she wrote. I mean, I don't think Florida State wins this game in Gainesville at all. I don't think it'll be a close game. I really don't. I don't think it'll be close whatsoever. But the question still sits on everybody's shoulders: is Florida State going to keep this head coach going into 2026? If that's the case, then this program's in really deep trouble. I think there's some worrisome about the future ahead. And when you talk about like Nebraska, I see all the comments on here about Nebraska and everything. You might be headed in that direction, and that's very scary as an FSU fan, Dustin and Austin.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it for a month at this point that it's beyond time for Florida State to make that move. And I mean, you've got another data point here on Friday night, a really ugly loss to NC State. And like you said, Logan, I don't know if it gets any better next weekend in Gainesville, and the consistent mistakes that this team makes. I mean, they reflect on the coaching staff. These are the coaches are who brought these players to be in these positions at Florida State and in Tallahassee. And they're making mistakes in all 3 phases of the game. It's not just one side of the ball that's killing Florida State. It's everything from offense. The defense played well enough tonight, but still struggled in some key situations. And obviously the special teams meltdown that we saw, especially there in the fourth quarter, it's a common theme for Florida State every time that they're on the road this season, and it all goes back to the coaches, in my opinion.
And yet, as badly as we all three will sit here and say he needs to go, I don't think any of us is expecting it.
Yeah,
with the way this recruiting class is sticking together, which is, could always change. It is Mike Norvell in recruiting. That could change in the next 2 weeks. I'd be surprised if they make this move. And no, I can promise you, no one hates the University of Florida more than myself. I don't see how they win that game next week. I just don't. This team on the road is awful, absolutely awful, and they're probably going to get railroaded by a team with an interim coach. Like, if that doesn't tell you what this program is right now, nothing will. And yet, the administration just doesn't want to make that move, whether it's money, whether it's the too many people fighting for 2 chairs in a game of whatever this is. It sucks. It just sucks.
But I mean, there's really no excuse. If they go into Gainesville next week, lose, don't make the postseason, and Florida State does not pull the trigger and make that decision, it just continues to reflect very poorly on the administration, and I think it puts into question the future of this program and where it's going. I mean, you have nothing going into the offseason that you can really sell the fans around at this point. It's a total collapse, and I think the trust is beyond able to be repaired at this point, and a lot of fans are just out on the product on the field that we see week in and week out.
You should be in on the basketball team, though, right?
That's right. They got their win. We'll say that at the very end. I mean, y'all are spot on. I mean, who is going to get anyone excited for this team going into 2026 if Mike Norvell is your head coach? Who is going to be excited for that? Who in the world would be excited for that? Nobody was excited going into this Alabama game until Tommy Castellano started talking shit. Until he started talking shit, then kind of got things riled up a little bit. Nobody was really looking forward to that Alabama game. Of course, you want to show up, you want to be in there in the stands, but nobody expected Florida State to win that game. But they go in and that win they game, then they win the next 2 games. That's great. Everything's flowing well. You beat 2, BS teams, and you pay them to come play in your stadium. And then you start losing 2 ACC teams, bad ACC teams. NC State is awful. And you do that throughout the rest of the season, including Stanford on the road with 5 or 6 fans in the stands. I mean, there's no kind of environment and affecting your offense. There's no loud stadium that Tommy Castellanos has to get his offense ready for. It's Stanford.
And this loss makes it 2-6 in ACC play this year, right? I mean, I guess it's a 2-win improvement, but damn, that's bad.
Doubled the win total. You had your 1 win last year.
You had your 1 against Cal.
Oh, that's right, Cal.
Austin can't even remember the last.
Dude, I've tried to
that long. Erase it.
I've tried to forget that season respectfully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bad, and I gave props to the FSU fans that are in Doak and that are praising the team and everything that were there beating Virginia Tech and such. But I mean, all glory to you, man, that did not boo. I mean, I understand they won the game and stuff, but all glory to you. I don't know how I would not appreciate any sort of this at all. At all. If you were mad at Willie Taggart and you were booing that team earlier, why aren't you doing against Mike Norvell? I don't understand that part. I really don't. Yes, he's a likable guy. Likable in administration, likable in interviews, whatever it is. Got the ACC championship for you, thanks to Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, a top 2 defense in the country. It doesn't matter though. I don't understand where you can go 2-10 and you can feel like you can ride with that going to 2025 and you still be behind this guy. And I'm not saying that there's a lot of people. I think it's very much in the minority now. But it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. And there might be a chance. We'll see. We'll see what happens by 11:30 tomorrow morning. But there might be a chance where this head coach is still, being the head coach for Florida State against UF, and they get absolutely routed in the swamp. And then who knows, which is absolutely asinine to think of, that he could still be your head coach. going into 2026, I don't know how anybody's going to be in Doak Campbell Stadium. I really don't know how, unless you give free tickets away. Unless you have free tickets, then that might be the only way. I really don't know how, guys. Like, that's where I'm at. I don't know how.
I don't think there would ever be a bigger lame duck situation than Norvell being the head coach next season. Like, you always hear that term with head coaches, especially in the NFL. You hear it a lot. I don't think I would have ever seen one more in college football than Mike returning for next year, which, again, I think we all expect to happen as much as we don't want it to.
And now Florida State, 7-17 since the playoff snub. You know, everything has just fallen off a cliff for this program since then, and a variety of ways. And I think it gets more head scratching by the week as these losses, these infuriating results pile up, and no real clear path to the future for Florida State. No action from the administration, and like we've talked about, I mean, it's going to be really tough for Florida State to dive into this coaching market with everything it's going to take from the program. So a lot of questions, no real answers.
No, that's a scary situation you are in as an FSU fan. We're here live. Throw some comments down because I know a lot of y'all want to kind of look into what is next, like what is next for FSU. Throw some comments down, throw some topics down below your thoughts of this game, which I know a lot of y'all not happy whatsoever. And I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you whatsoever. I mean, as we saw once again, FSU faced an opponent that looks atrocious. NC State's not great at all whatsoever. Then they, this we already talked about. This team went and faced Stanford on the road against backups. Oh my goodness gracious! Let's just get hot with it. Let's get hot. Let's get hot on a Friday night, baby. What good coach would want this dumpster fire? Well, with how the administration is working, I don't know. You're kind of in that. To be honest with you, you're in that. I don't know how close you can get in that realm of LSU and Florida because they have a lot of additional things that they've got to deal with as well. LSU most certainly because you deal with politics as well. But it's not an attractive spot for a head coach. I mean, actually, it might be because you can win 2 games in a season and you can keep your head coaching job. That's not bad.
Can I shorten the question? Who's a good coach? There's not a lot
well, that's
of good
the
coaches
really
right
sticky.
now.
That's the really sticky situation for Florida State right now because you did just see James Franklin go to Virginia Tech in your same conference. Not saying that was going to be the game changer. I know DZ, you said that's not going to be the game changing head coach for Florida State and such, but still, even out of James Franklin, who is going to save you and get you back on the right track of reaching 10 wins minimum season by season at Florida State? Who would that be at the moment?
It's tough to say.
It's tough. The silence, and it's tough.
Who would it be? Who would it be?
But the guys who are available out there.
Who?
You think Alfred got some cooking with Lane Kiffin? You think it's all been a game this whole time and Lane Kiffin's been locked into FSU this whole time? There was interest in 2020. Come on. Something. That's the thing. I mean, gentlemen, who else? I mean, I know we get the Jimbo Fisher comments. We've talked about Jimbo Fisher quite a bit on this show and such. I'm here for it for entertainment reasons. I mean,
entertainment and only entertainment.
Yeah. We're here for therapy, by the way, too. We're not here. This is not a show anymore. We're here for therapy. So come on in for therapy sessions. Nole said Nole Limit said he's not even thinking about it right now. That's where he's at.
He's thinking about basketball. I saw his comment earlier.
Okay. All right. Not even thinking about football anymore. It's on to basketball. Kenny Dillingham. Thoughts on Kenny Dillingham?
It's just not happening. And B, how many fans would actually be excited about a Norvell disciple as the next head coach?
He's got
probably not many.
Yeah. Eli. Wait. Eli Manning? Is
Eli? Drinkwitz, Missouri.
Okay, my bad.
Definitely not talking about Eli Manning.
Sounds like you've had a couple of drinks tonight, Logan.
I have. Safety Harbor did enough on me. I'll tell you that. Watching these games, man, I hate to tell you, but having a beverage in your hand is the right way to go. It's been that way since 20. I will keep my mouth shut. Jameis. We just got a Jameis. We just got a Jameis comment. Shout out to Jameis getting another start on Sunday for the Giants. I mean, that's where we are. I mean, what you want Summerall? Here we go. We'll bring this up. Y'all's thoughts on Summerall?
Well, considering he just turned down Florida, supposedly, I can't imagine he's considering Florida State.
But do you think he turned down Florida because they're so infatuated with Kiffin? I mean, it seems like he's clearly their first option.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm not going to be your backup.
Yeah, but to not even go to the interview is kind of crazy.
Need to check his agent.
Mm-hmm.
Is his agent? Does his agent happen to be Jimmy Sexton? Do we know?
So I'm wondering, like, Sexton could have given him the heads up and just been like, not even worth it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is where this program's at. I mean, I feel like we had this conversation last year, and here we are once again. And I feel it for the fan base, obviously first before anybody else. It's absolutely atrocious what they have to deal with. But then too, the local businesses in Tallahassee, it affects everyone. And this team absolutely rots and awfulness. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Then they go on the road, which they're going to do on next weekend against a rival with the Gators. I mean, that game's not going to be close, gentlemen. Like, what's y'all's early score thoughts on that one? What you got?
I had to watch 3 games tonight. You want me to think about a game next week? No, not happening.
You're still going to predict FSU to win because it's the UF.
No.
No, you said that before. You said, I will always pick UF or FSU to win that game.
No, I said no one wants Florida State to beat Florida more than me. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And I said before the season that they'd lose this game. So
what are y'all doing? Y'all are messing with us, man. Jason Witten. Is he even coached? Is he coached anything yet?
I think he's still out in high school. I think
he's coaching high school ball. Okay. High school ball coach come in for the first year, coach Florida State. We've gotten this bad. Let me bring this up. We've gotten this bad. This is, you wouldn't even imagine the stage that FSU's in ever. Like, speak to us like three years ago. Urban Meyer. Oh, look at Beasy. Oh my God. My God.
I don't think I would watch a football game if he became the head coach.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Urban Meyer.
No.
Okay. I thought you were going there.
No, I do not want to deal with a fake heart attack every 2 weeks from him.
Here we go.
It was always Bob Stoops.
It's Bob until it ain't. Get the graphics ready. And then we've got Willie Taggart comments. We are officially rock bottom, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday night at midnight. It's officially Saturday morning. Florida State doesn't play on Saturday. Everybody celebrate.
He's been coaching up Derrick Henry. Maybe he's ready for another opportunity.
This is from Kozine on YouTube saying, I'm a lifelong FSU and New York Jets fan. It's harder to watch FSU.
And here's why he has a realistic case. You always expect the Jets to do bad. You don't expect Florida State to do bad.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness gracious. I don't know, man. I mean, this was bad play once again on the road. And I don't know. I mean, everybody get your Twitter alerts ready for some potential breaking news tomorrow. I mean, I would rather, I don't know if we're going to bet, if we're going to put money on it, where are we going? Where are we leaning?
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
You can bring up a comment. Someone gave us a donation asking where the chance he's fired by Monday. I would say less than 1%.
Oh, for real? Okay, let me bring that up. A little $1.99 for my guy Philip Pettit. Hey, that might have been one of my Child's coaches over there. Shout out to Child's. What are the chances they fire Norvell by Monday?
I'd say less than 1%. I'm so serious. I just don't see it happening, and it's a shame. It's a shame.
We've already seen where the Florida State administration stands. But, hey, we're getting closer and closer to that evaluation. So, our comprehensive assessment, my bad.
Great.
a comprehensive assessment that was delivered to us after the Stanford game, where that team played absolutely dookie cheeks for a PG-13. Actually, PG-13, you can say cuss words in those, right? In those movies?
We passed that rating a minute and a half into
Yeah.
this.
Oh, we have. What is y'all's legitimate thoughts on Jimbo Fisher? Because that is a lot of the comments tonight.
Do people forget how that tenure ended? Where he just stopped recruiting for basically the entire year and let bad evaluations really ruin the program. Yes, he was getting 5 stars, but when those 5 stars are Malik Henry, who lasted all of one season, and some of these other players that never touched the field or never developed, I won't say that he bought the first ticket out of Tallahassee, but he didn't exactly buy the 10th. You know, he got out there pretty quickly. And then Texas A&M was kind of a disaster. The only way I would be okay with Jimbo is if you say you are not calling plays. You're bringing in an offensive coordinator that has a modern system that is able to develop players again. That's the only way
And use them
it's
as
going to happen.
and the biggest asset for Jimbo would be on the recruiting side, correct?
Correct.
Maybe hard coaching, but I mean, that would be his major asset that he'd bring to the table, is helping you and putting a good staff around him with the recruiting side of things. Now, to us, and we've talked about this multiple times the last few weeks, is to build a kind of a replica of an NFL organization. You build a front office and you allow for your coach to be the coach, and then you take care of the NIL with the front office. They build out your recruiting plan. They've got the transfer portal down. They got the NIL. You got a general manager, all that kind of thing sorted away. But then you do bring in a head coach that is strictly on the field. Now, if you do bring up, let's just say, a guy like Jimbo or someone of that stature, they want to be calling, plays for you, but still would be your head coach at this point. And I know I'm bringing up Jimbo Fisher. That's what's here on the comment section, but I guess that would be where it'd be viable. Where, at least going off VZ here, where you'd bring back a head coach that won you a national championship, and to Tallahassee, like a guy like Jimbo Fisher.
And also, I brought it up, I don't know, 6 weeks ago. The Athletic did a really great article about schools bringing back their former head coaches, and it never works. It's worked maybe 2 times out of 15 in the last 20 years. It's just not something that works. You don't get better 15 years later or 10 years later, or whatever you want to do the math for it.
And really, the game has just evolved so much. I mean, especially since Fisher was having consistent success at Florida State with the popularity of the transfer portal and NIL and everything else that's happened in college football these last 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's a rapidly different sport, and I just don't know if he would be acclimated to where it's gone.
I think, to me, and maybe we can wrap this part up, is I think Florida State has to start from the very top. And certainly, too, I don't know, and it really is going to depend if that actually happens, because Florida State would have to move on from their head coach, and maybe they could have the dominoes fall where you take care of what needs to happen at the very top. But I think they have to completely restructure what this program is, because they're obviously lacking behind all of the programs that are successful right now and that are on a consistent basis of being successful. Florida State spent a lot of money, spent a lot of their attention the last couple of years going after the ACC. They want to get out of the ACC. This is not a conference that they want to be in. They don't feel like they're appreciated enough, and there's some argument there as well. But for revenue reasons, Florida State certainly could take advantage of other top conferences like the Big Ten, the SEC, where they could bring in more revenue. But with that, and Florida State is going to garner more revenue this year, but they need to figure out some things in the front office. They've got to move some things around, and they got to be able to prioritize building, I think, and what this new college football landscape is building a front office around hopefully a talented head coach once they do make, hopefully, that move. And moving on with what they have right now with Mike Norvell and the entirety of this staff as a whole.
Easier said than done, especially if Mike Norvell is the guy sticking around at the post for Florida State. I mean, you've had multiple chances to really dive in and invest more resources in that front office, especially ever since you brought over Derek Ray. as your general manager, and it just feels like they haven't put enough into it to really get enough personnel and guys in the building to handle those responsibilities. So, I mean, if Mike Norvell is fired by Florida State at the end of the season, that'll be another one of the failures that we look back into in this tenure.
BZ FSU basketball won.
They did. It feels like a lifetime ago because it was literally 3 games ago for me. Yeah, 98-72 against a decent Georgia Southern team. Shout out Leger Jones for tying the Florida State record for most made 3-pointers in a game with 10. Shot 10 of 21 from deep. Florida State again broke their own record of most 3-pointers attempted in a game. It's also the ACC record with 49. Good win. The first half was sloppy, but that second half was a lot of fun. Leger Jones was electric. And it's arguably their best win of the season, especially because Georgia Southern's a decent team. They almost beat Georgia Tech on Tuesday, I believe it was. Really brought that down to the wire. They were winning most of that game anyways, and then Florida State blew the doors off of them tonight. I think that's a good sign of things to come, and really can't complain about it. Those 20-point wins matter when it comes to net rankings, and that's only going to make Florida State look better and better with the metrics.
Did you tune into that basketball game, D'Lo?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Solid game.
Great analysis.
This is where we're at. This is an instant reaction to FSU NC State, but I wanted to give at least some positive outlook to this FSU basketball team.
Because they're fun. They're the exact opposite of football. They have a lot of offense. They're fun. They're electric. They care.
The crowd's been lacking. So I mean, would love to see some more fans get over there to the Tuck. And
if you can make it to Doak, you can make it to the Tuck and enjoy some AC.
Facts.
That's a message sent to this fan
no
base.
reason
if you can make it to Doak and cheer for Mike Norvell, you can probably cheer for the first-year head coach of Luke Laux, who's a former alumni.
There's no reason there should have only been like 2,500 people there tonight.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
But it's a 2-hour game, a good experience with the way that this team plays on the court, and the ticket prices aren't too bad right now. So I'd recommend getting over there for one of these non-conference games, and obviously coming back whenever the conference schedule kicks off.
I mean, they got Georgia at home in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Gentlemen, what's our kickoff time going to be at Florida? 3:30 or 4:30? That did not sound right. 4:40. That did not sound right at the end. Yeah,
4:40.
It's 12:10, maybe a few drinky poos.
It doesn't matter what time the game is because it's going to be a loss. So why predict the game time?
That is true.
I'm going to guess that FSU gets the 4:30 because it's just such a weird kickoff time. They're not deserving of a normal 3:30 game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be 4:30.
They're going to put it on ESPN News too. Like they're going to make a new channel for this game.
Bring back the
YouTube.
I think they already announced it's on ESPN2. If I'm
not
mistaken.
Yeah. This one will be
joking.
Yeah, 3:30 or 4:30 on Nickelodeon or Comedy Central. And then D Tally said, "Everybody get your Powerball tickets in. There's $629 million tomorrow. If I win, my first order of business is going to be firing Mike Norvell. So
if you win,
rely on D Tally.
If you win, your first donation to be the basketball team because they actually care. So,
well, we got to move on. What pays the bills is football. We got to
basketball can pay the bills too if you do it correctly. Listen, I'm a stand on this pedestal. I'll shout it from the rooftops.
You can wish all you want, but it's going to come down to how this football program plays. And tonight it was atrocious. Florida State loses 21-11. Just we can't go any further into it. It's just been atrocious play all over the place for Florida State, offensively, defensively, special teams. Another night where FSU fans are just wondering what the hell is this administration doing? And I doubt they'll get any answer tomorrow. And you'll get prepared for another Monday press conference with Mike Norvell preparing you for Florida State at UF, which is, another road game for the Seminoles that do not play well whatsoever. Didn't play well last year. And once again, you won't play well probably again in Gainesville. But I think that's going to do it, though, gentlemen, for our instant reaction to Florida State at NC State. Once again, at NC State, losing Florida State is not going to get another ACC win.
And also a reminder before we get out of here, both of these goofy ass goobers picked Florida State to win this game. I don't know why. They're idiots.
It was a terrible decision. Terrible.
I let VZ
Terrible
now
decision.
tie me. I let VZ now tie me. It's going to come down to all the marbles on Wednesday night. Make sure you stay tuned to our show on Wednesday night because
exactly where I'm going. So.
No, because on Wednesday night, this might be the first time on the show. I think out of the last 3 years, I believe we've all been even on our season predictions and everything.
I'm pretty sure VZ pulled ahead.
Yeah, I think I went ahead with this one. And if we need a tiebreaker, we can go to our preseason predictions with our records.
Who said we got a bowl game coming up? There could be a bowl game coming up.
We don't.
Come on now. Come on. There could be a bowl game coming up.
We do not.
Hopefully we'll see you in the Gasparilla Bowl. If not, I don't know what to tell you guys. We got basketball and baseball coming up, guys. And soccer, I think, is making a run in the NCAA tournament. Shout out to them. But that's going to do it for us. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's weekend. Enjoy Saturday football. And we will talk to you guys. Me and Dustin will be live with you on 12:30 at 12:30. Who knows, Dustin? We might talk about a coaching change. Who knows?
We won't be.
There you go. And we'll end it off with Zay Knowles talking about they drank the perfume. Let's go back. Knowles basketball and women's soccer. Shout out to women's soccer. Always consistent. Something this football team cannot do. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all's weekend. We'll talk soon. Peace.